Hi, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Hitstreak. Check it out. I got to give a big shout out to my show sponsor, my friends over at AVLX. I also have to give a big shout out to Charles Henry and Ace Young, the amazing performers and producers of the music behind the show, as well as the amazing people that make up the Hit Lab creative team, who are the producers of the show. Folks, I have a favor to ask. If you like what you hear, and I know you do, click that subscribe button to make sure you get alerted when new episodes are dropped. Thanks for tuning in.
The real success stories told by the people who live them.
We're going to have some guests on this show that everybody knows, and we're going to have guests on this show that nobody knows yet.
One by one, Nick Hyder is adding hits to the hit streak.
Blessings, folks. Welcome back to another episode of The Hit Streak. I'm your man, Nick Hyder, and in the building today, in the Hit Lab, I've got a real treat for you. I've got Nashville's newest resident, the Real Brad Lea, in the building in the Hit Lab. Brad, thanks for hanging, man.
Man, thanks for having me.
Well, did you find the place all right?
I did. GPS is a freaking miracle, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Well,
Man,
brother,
can you imagine when Garmin came out with? Remember Garmin's?
I do.
And then, what happened to them? It's like they came out with something awesome, and then
that's right.
Out of biz.
They should have an app on your phone.
Well, they should.
They should.
They must have fell asleep.
I guess all I know is I can just still remember my parents when you had to suction that thing to the windshield and it didn't work, and it was always rolling across the dashboard. Mom and Dad be cussing or whatever, pissed off because it wouldn't hang where it's supposed to be, right when they're making their turn.
That's right. Much handier now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, dude, so I met you in 2020. I was, thank you for letting us come and hang with you on Dropping Bombs for a little bit.
Sure.
It was a good time. And I had met you. We had a lake day here in Nashville. You were quiet that day. You were just checking out the surroundings. You were reading the room.
Well, I'm fairly quiet sometimes.
Shoot.
I like to observe.
You like to observe? Well, what are you observing? You guys just got a house here in Nashville.
Well, Brentwood, but yeah, same thing. All right. So everyone says, dude, it's Brentwood. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I said Nashville 3 times. Someone said, this is Brentwood.
Well, there's Franklin, Brentwood, Cool Springs, Nolensville, all that kind of stuff all on the south side.
Yeah. It's all Nashville, right?
Yes, it is. You're in a good spot, man. You're in a good spot. So I asked you before what we're talking about, and you were just like, man, we're just chatting. We're just chit-chatting. So, but I do know you got a lot of new stuff going on. Recently, your book, The Hard Way, bestseller came out, and it's really good, but you know that.
Well, thanks. I mean, I wrote it myself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't write their books themselves. They have ghostwriters. I wrote every word of that.
That's right. Well, if you've ever spoken to you before, you know that's 100% your verbiage in there.
Yeah, and I keep it quick. It's a quick read.
It is.
Dude, you don't need to belabor things to make people understand. I think it's actually the opposite.
Okay.
I think the simpler you can put things, the better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So when did you guys close on your house here?
We didn't. I'm leasing it.
You're leasing it?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. So, but you guys are moved in?
Nope,
not yet. So it all just happened.
Yeah, June 1.
June 1. Wife's happy.
She's real happy. She thinks we're going to live here.
Well, and it's a big weekend here in Nash Vegas.
CMA Fest.
Yes,
that's right.
She
loves that too.
And this will all be when this airs. That what we're talking about what already have happened. But you are you're speaking at an event while you're here this week. Tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Saturday I speak.
Saturday.
Yeah.
What event is it?
It's I don't know the name of it actually. I know it's at the City Winery.
There you go.
I don't know what it's called.
It's got a good lineup.
Yeah, the Trumans. Jana Truman.
Yep.
Is putting it on. It's got some pretty good speakers.
It does.
I'm headlining, they said. And I said, oh, good.
All right. Well, and your boy Coach Burt is here.
Oh, Coach Burt. Everyone needs good coach in life.
He's on the lineup as well, right?
He's on the ticket. He likes he's good at that. Coach Burt, he's a good speaker.
Yes, he is.
I'm not really a speaker. I'm more of a talker.
Storyteller?
Yeah, I just talk. I don't really have a speech. A speech to me is when you see me at the next one, it's like, oh, it's the same one. He even paused at the same moment. I don't do that. I just walk out and talk. Stories, whatever I feel, whatever's on my heart. That's what I say.
Well, I got a lot to talk to you about today. So we in the insurance space, one of the biggest problems that we all face is training these new agents, training these agencies.
Yeah.
And you are the founder and CEO of LightSpeed, which is far and away the best out there. So what makes it so good, dude? What's the secret sauce behind LightSpeed and why everybody needs it?
Well, I mean, the secret sauce behind LightSpeed is number one, interactivity. Number two, real-time tracking and notifications. Because when you train somebody, most people mistake training for exposure.
Okay.
So a lot of people think they're training people when they're just exposing them to information.
Right.
And I don't know about Nashville, but Vegas, exposure will get you arrested. In fact, didn't you get arrested there for indecent exposure while you were there, but they had to let you go for lack of evidence?
Well, I don't know, man. We're just going to leave that right there.
Oh, but training takes four things.
Yep.
If you're going to really train somebody. Number one, good content. You have to know how to do it right in the first place.
Right.
So good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. So our system, the LightSpeed VT technology, is designed to deliver those things. And the reason it does that is because when I tried to emulate what I did in real life, I asked questions in real life.
Right.
And so I had to have interactivity in the video. So I created an interactive video creation tool, which most people don't realize that when you get LightSpeed, you can now create interactive content. And the interactive content allows you to ask questions, make offers if you want to upsell them, but more importantly, make sure that they understand what's happening through, practice and role play scenarios, as well as full tracking and notification so you can hold people accountable.
Right.
So it just works better because number one, people are listening better. As soon as you see it start asking you a few questions, you're like, wait a minute, damn, I better pay attention. So that makes you learn more.
Right.
And then the testing and the role play drives it home.
Well, one of the biggest, one of the biggest things that, like now because of the internet, people are always, you can learn so much from, you used to have to go to church, summits, concerts, or whatever to see people. Now the information is accessible 24/7. And for the real entrepreneur, they have access to it whether you're there or not, whether they're in the office or not, 24/7 at home, wherever they're at, they can access it and they can grow. So you've taken away their floor and just gave them a new ceiling, right? Or taken away the ceiling, I guess. On demand. That's a big deal. Well, the true or false, and it's because of the internet. Like it's easier now than in the history of mankind to be a millionaire.
I would say true.
Yeah, and it's what do you think that is? Like for me, it's because of the information that's at your fingertips 24/7.
Well, yeah, but really, I think it's the access.
Okay.
Like I can reach 1 billion people.
Right.
Easier now than before.
Right.
So really, where does money come from? They say money doesn't grow on trees, right? You've heard that?
Yes.
Do they tell you where it comes from?
They sure don't.
I'll tell your listeners. It comes from other people's pockets. So if you want more money, you have to create more relationships.
Yep.
So because of the internet and social media and all these platforms, you're able to reach people easier.
Okay.
So it's easier to make money.
I work with the company here that's fantastic called Brand Builders. Rory and AJ Vaden are the founders. They've got Lewis House as one of their clients. They just did Ed Milet's book launch with him. He was here, or actually they were in, I guess it was North Carolina last weekend they had a good summit, and he was there with them. But I had one of the founding members, Jeremy, in the studio a couple weeks ago. And we were talking about the importance of a personal brand. And for me, when I'm hiring, if somebody comes in with a massive following or a big social media presence, that's assets in my opinion. And that's not usually on the resume. when like the old traditional resume. So a lot of folks are behind the game when it comes to building a personal brand. What are some of the biggest things? You've been talking a lot about personal brand lately, and you do really well with yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took me 20 years to build my first 8-figure company. I built like 2 in the last 6 months because of a personal brand.
That's what I'm talking about.
So personal branding, everyone needs to. Well, everyone has one. The question is it good or bad?
That's right. What's the difference? What's the biggest difference to the average person in a good versus bad personal brand?
Well, again, it's subjective. Everyone has their own opinion. Mine is authenticity. I don't fake fraud, cheesy goofballs, that are fake.
Right.
So other people might like that, but to me, it's most people refuse to do it because they're worried about what everybody else is going to think.
Right.
Their opinion let's say other people's opinion outweighs theirs, meaning I need your opinion to validate mine. So if I put something on the internet that you don't like, I'm going to feel like a loser. I'm going to feel stupid. So I'm going to take it down rather than, or just not even put it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Rather than, say what I feel and think and be who I am and just be you and put it out there, repetitiously.
Mm-hmm.
You need a lot of content to build a brand.
Right.
And I would say 3 to 4 videos every single day on all 6 main channels.
Yep. We've been, I know on mine, we've been building it up for a minute. As a matter of fact, we had done, just because I guess in the world of insurance, there's a big lack of marketing, unless it's in the form of a lead, just on social media. I think we were one of the very first Facebook pages in the whole company of US Health, which is an amazing insurance company. And so for us, it was, especially here locally, we crushed just because it was like uninvaded space, uncharted territory. But over time, some people are starting to catch on and everything. But when I first met you, we'd made a really good living on just static images, and I was riding the shit out of that thing. And you looked at my stuff and you're like, you need video. So that was when we started doing video. It wasn't long. As a matter of fact, I talked to you like the very next week, if not that week. And we were shooting anything and everything that happened in the office. We started shooting it, and that was where he generates all of his stuff. We tried to stage it for like a day, and it was terrible.
Told you.
It was terrible. That's right. So if somebody's wanting to start, like they got a phone, they got this, right? So because most people are going to say, I can't afford a person, I can't afford this and that. It is expensive.
Well, that's limited belief.
Yep.
Number one, you don't need anyone except for yourself. You might have to learn some things. Might have to learn some things. You don't want to learn things. I understand. Sit down, take the jersey off, let the players play.
There you go.
But you got to learn. If you can't afford to hire a team, you got to learn how to do it yourself. Editing's not that difficult with the software that's available. But ultimately, man, most people find it difficult because it takes a lot of time creating content because they're not doing it right. In my opinion, you just need to film you being you. You need to be the content. So like whatever you do during the day, that's the content. Who are you talking to? What are you saying? Unless you're a phony fraud, dirtball, where you make it up. Like, right. Dude, don't make it up. Like, just film you being you all day because you're going to be you all day no matter what you're doing. So now you don't have to take time to make content. You are the content. Mm-hmm. You walk around. You got to keep yourself busy, though, because nobody wants to see you just sitting there picking your nose. But at the end of the day, you got to talk to people. You got to set up meetings, fly people in, do podcasts, do coaching calls, do business calls, talk to the kids, talk to the wife, talk to the husband, whoever is in your life. Capture it all. Mm-hmm. And then you take that content, chop it up, drop it up, and boom, personal brand growing. Now there's tricks to it. I have 5 things. Number 1, you have to have the source. The source should be you. That's what I just described. Number 2 is the creative. Now, creatively, you have to have a headline, you have to have subtitles and hashtags. So those are just trending. You can look those up, but titles, you want to be creative. So let's say I want to sell insurance. You know, I could say something like, you know, monkey rips arm off the baby, and people, what? So they watch it, and it's like, man, that could be the case. And if you ever have that happen, you're gonna want insurance. Mm-hmm. See, so you can lead them wherever you want to go, but the headline has to be there to stop them.
Right.
And the subtitles are there because people scroll silently. They don't listen. They look. So the subtitles need to be the first words out of your mouth, which are hopefully the hook. Mm-hmm. So you got the headline, the hook, then the problem. You state the problem, then the solution. So hook, problem, solution. That's the format of your content. And then the hashtags, you can just look those up, which ones are trending and which ones are relevant. Like, don't put hashtags that aren't relevant to what you're posting, because it won't work.
That's right.
So that's the creative. Then you need your outlets. Okay. So the outlet is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. No, I said that. Whatever. Facebook,
Instagram. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok.
Yeah. Minimum. Mm-hmm. Which one's the most important?
Which one's the most important? We've been doing the best on Instagram.
No, I didn't say which ones did you do the best. Which one's the most important?
Good question.
YouTube.
That's right.
The answer.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
YouTube, 100%. You got to build up your YouTube. The reason why I've never logged into Instagram and asked how to do anything.
That's right.
So if I typed into YouTube, how to make money, Hider Team shows up. Mm-hmm. How to buy insurance, how to get the best deal on insurance, how to get the best deal on anything. Like, people are typing into YouTube how to. So you want to be found in the how-tos.
Right.
Especially, you know, if you're using this to blow up your business.
And they type into Google, it's the same thing.
And the SEO is optimized when you have a lot of videos. So go get your YouTube channel dialed in. Even if you don't do anything with it, you know, you need to have one and you need to post videos on there.
Yeah. If
I were a landscaper here in Nashville, I would have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And I would be showing sped up versions of what a yard looked like prior and after I was done with it. And you would just get mesmerized because it would be one of those fast videos. Now, when I'm done, I would say, my name's Brad Lea. I've been doing lawns in Nashville for freaking X amount of time. I love doing it. And if I can help you, call me 702-808, none of your business. and I'd post it. And pretty soon, dude, you'll start to get people calling you from that video, organic traffic, even if you don't, you know, boost and advertise. So YouTube's the most important. TikTok's the most viral right now. But you want to post 3 to 4 videos on all of them every day in the right format.
So I got the creative team in here, some of the creative team in here with us, and we talk about
I'll be charging you for
a lot of these things. Absolutely. We do no less than 2 videos a day. We still do some static images and from stuff, 15 to 20 stories. But why 3 to 4?
Well, 30 to 40 if you could.
Sure. That's the point I was trying to make.
You want to grow faster? Do more.
I
say 3 to 4 minimum. Like if I could, I'd do more.
Yeah.
But it takes a minute to come up with all those, because I don't post the same ones everywhere.
Right.
So it takes a little work. You know, I probably have, I don't know, 5, 6 people working on it every day.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of work, but you know, I wouldn't do graphics or images at all.
Okay.
Like why you post an image? You're out of content?
No, just pictures.
Pictures of what?
Pictures of the family, pictures with you.
It ain't Pinterest, bro. A video with me is better than a picture with me.
Absolutely.
I say people are putting up pictures when they don't have content.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, hey, just stick a picture of me up. That one I look good. Like that one. Like you probably post that, don't you?
No, but I will. I will today for you.
You post out with a quote that says something profound.
We could.
Yeah.
They call that the Steve Jobs thing.
No, dude,
Steve
have
Jobs
your team
picture.
take this and create clips from it.
They're gonna
Post those instead.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely.
Post the one I just said, making fun of your picture.
You got that? You on it? There you go. He'll make it happen. He'll make it happen. Well, the one of the cool things about what you're talking about is, you know, most people's favorite part of movies and TV shows and everything is when they show behind the scenes or outtakes and stuff like that. And that's literally what you're describing. when your personal brand is your digital reputation, so to speak, but it's an inside look at what you got going on. And I mean, it's pretty cool. It's very entertaining. You feel like you get to know people.
Yeah. Well, if they're doing it right.
If they're doing it right. That's right. That's right. We have that conversation with when we're launching new businesses or new agencies, and man, it's crazy, dude. Like everybody's way behind on when it comes to this stuff. It feels like it's been around forever. It takes a couple years of doing it every day to make it happen. It's like, don't even look up for me. When we first started doing video, it was, we're not even going to look up for 12 months, and then we're just going to see where we're at and what we need to do next. That's
the right way to think about it. You just got to do it. It needs to be like a lifestyle.
And it's not going to be perfect at first. Like, how often does your stuff evolve? Like your team, they're making your stuff. Because the clips that I was in 2 years ago are totally different from what you're doing today. Like, it's crazy how much yours has evolved in 2 years.
Really?
Big time.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Dude, and we watch, we pay attention to everything too. I mean, from like the formatting, the subtitles used to have the rhino that went across at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do the same shit forever and ever and ever.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know if it's evolved, but it's changed. But different editors, different people come and go. The styles, taste. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm in there going, "Hey, I need to have it this way." I just film it and go do my thing. And then fortunately, I got a good team been with me for a while. They know my voice. They know what quality looks like.
Yeah.
The hardest part is to know what's funny and know what's good.
Yeah.
So like they could take a clip where I was talking for 5 minutes, turn it into 2 minutes, get rid of the ums and the ahs and the part where I was stuttering or stupid. And then the clip itself is like, oh man, this guy's smart. Well, should have heard the whole 5 minutes. It might've been diluted a little bit.
Right.
So they're good at that. That's the talent is knowing what gold sounds like.
Right. I think you were talking about the ones that are funny, because you got to have, I think that's the evolution of yours. In the beginning, it was a lot of business stuff, work related stuff. And, my favorite one that I've seen of yours is when you're walking through, I guess it was the airport, and you ran into that glass door and they had like the Bee Gees playing behind you, and it was the glasses were on, you were rocking.
It was. I actually did that one.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, because I really did hit the door. So when I got back, I said, dude, we got to do something with that. I said, just do all the things, like I'm signing autographs, I'm walking through, I'm all cool and shit. And then, have it like a record scratch, and I hit the door with my face.
Yeah.
And they did. And, that's the best stuff. I think
it is. There was another one where you got off the charter plane, and they got the slow mo, the wind's blowing your jacket back and everything. But when you see the raw footage, they see you take 3 or 4 steps, and like, Brad, did you get everything? You're like, shit, I don't know. And you turn around and you look back and everything else, but then you see the finished product, and it's in the slow mo with the aviators.
They got to make it all cool.
That's right.
But hey, you just be you and capture it. The reason they can make that stuff is because I captured it. Mm-hmm. So that's the key, is I'm just being me, and you just need to be you. And,
right.
And I think that's what will help you build a brand. When I say you, I'm talking to your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's already working for you. How's it worked out so far?
It's been fantastic. Everything it's touched has grown.
Videos get more engagement than pictures?
100%. 100%. And they help people. Pictures can't really help people.
Well, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's got to be worth 1 million.
At least 10 million, 100 million.
That's right.
People all the time will get something, value or whatever else out of a clip or an episode or whatever else. The feedback's been awesome. It's good. It feels good to be able to help some folks out.
Good.
Absolutely.
Well, anytime I can help, all you got to do is call.
That's right. When is the next? So there needs to be a system teaching people how to build a personal brand, because that nobody wants to do it by themselves. How many people have taught you how to market social media and all that kind of stuff, or did you just?
Well, I learned from everybody.
That's right.
So I learned from everybody.
That's it.
I pay attention.
That's right.
Well, that's because my intention is to bust a move.
Oh shit. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. What does that even mean?
That's the lyrics of a song.
That's right. That's right.
I was just trying to be funny.
Well, you were.
You know, when I wrote that book, The Hard Way, it's lessons I've learned the hard way, so you don't have to. And and the funny thing is everyone's going to learn the lessons in that book. Mm-hmm. The question is are you going to learn it the hard way, or are you going to get the hard way and learn it the easy way? Because by getting the hard way, that's the easy way. Mm-hmm. And there's no shame in it being easy. That's one thing I realized. Matter of fact, that's one of the lessons in the book.
Right.
Like, I wish I would have stopped and asked for directions a long time ago.
Right.
You know, well, you still got there. Yeah, but so what?
Right.
I always ask people on my podcast, would you rather earn 20 million or get handed 100 million?
If you hand me 100 million, I'm going to be able to earn way more than 20.
No, I know, but most people say earn it. Why? Well, because, you know, it's not worth having unless you earn it yourself.
That's right.
They come up with all their excuses. Well, at least I knew how I earned it, so if I lost it, I could get it again. It's like, dude, there's no reason in the world you can make that make sense to me.
Right.
Like, I would take $100 million handed to me. I don't care if I earned it or not. I have 100 million. You've got 20. Well, I've got experience, and if I lost mine, I'm not going to lose it. Number one, and you're dead right. With 100 million, I can learn by losing 20 million and still have 80.
That's right.
So you can learn regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So always take the 100. And then people say, what would you rather have, like a Ferrari or a Lambo? What would you rather have?
Which one would I rather have? My son likes the Lambo the best, so I would go with the Lambo.
See, I say both.
Both?
The answer is always both.
Okay.
People get taught to be limited.
Right.
You know, Ferrari or Lambo, both.
Why is that? Why are people, I agree with you, big time.
Well, because someone taught someone who taught someone. So like your parents love you, they want you to be safe, so they tell you to be careful, and they tell you don't take risks, and you know, you need to take risks.
It's your parents' job to protect, right?
Yeah,
so
but someone taught them.
That's right.
Someone taught them. But I always look at who's doing the teaching.
Yeah.
So if your parents aren't financially successful and you're trying to be, I wouldn't listen to your parents. Now I'm down here in the Bible Belt. That might not go over so well, huh?
No, you know, my family has evolved a lot over the last 2 generations, especially financially. And my dad was the first person in our family to graduate college. He was always self-employed. He was in the music business and had a 30-year run and had a great one.
Do we know him?
He was a publisher.
Is it Conway
publisher and
Twitty?
Producer. No, but he knew Conway. He definitely knew Conway. And growing up as a kid, I got to hang out with all those when they were in the studios and doing all that stuff. It was really cool. But and we grew up. We were at the top edge of middle class, I guess, growing up. And but I asked Dad not that long ago. We were talking about money and all the things that I've had to learn and everything else. I asked him, like, you taught me so many things. Why didn't you teach me more about like the language of money? And he said, well, like, I wasn't the best person to teach you that. And I thought, damn, that's kind of profound, Most parents wouldn't necessarily say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, most people are trying to learn. Sometimes we need to unlearn.
Right. That's right.
Not a mean.
And they teach you how to do everything in school except for make money doing it, whatever it is you're going to go for. So your kids, you got a couple.
7.
Did they go to? So did all of them go to college? None of them go to college? How'd that work?
You know what's funny? None of them.
None of them?
No, there's only 4 that would have.
Okay.
3 are still little. They're going to.
Okay.
I hope. I think. But I say go to college for the experience. I was going to say none of them went, and they're all successful.
Right.
Now, millionaire successful? No, but they don't need to be necessarily, because I'll make sure that they're fine. But they're all not losers, let's just say.
Right.
So I support whatever they wanted to do, and none of them wanted to go to college.
Ethan is about to be 13, and we have that. My wife and I have that conversation a lot. I was brought up: you go to school, you go to college, and I got I went to a great school. I got a degree. I can honestly say I've never made $1 from my degree. I've never got a job because of my degree. I got to play professional baseball because I played in college, right? So it was a stepping stone.
You got lifelong friends, I bet.
Well, that was the thing, is I learned after the fact that if I'd have known before that it was probably an unbelievable networking tool for like 4 years, and you can really build some really great relationships in 4 years when everybody's at the same point in life together at the same time and in the same place. That would be for me. That's what college really is like, dude. Build those relationships that you can carry with you for a long time.
Yeah, if I could go back, I mean, I might have driven them a little harder to go to college, but for the experience, not for the education. I mean, they're all smart. They're all, they're good kids. I'm surprised because, I didn't have much practice the first couple.
Gotcha.
But if I could say, do I wish they would go to college? Yes, but not for the bragging rights.
Right.
For the relationships. Because when it boils down to it, it's all about relationships. Relationships are the new currency. The more hands you shake, the more money you make.
We say that here all the time. It's actually it's on the last slide of our team meeting every Friday.
You can use it.
It's got your name next to it.
You can have her.
Absolutely.
That's a fact, Jack. It's 100% the truth. And what's crazy is most people want to make things difficult. The more hands you shake, the more money you make, period. Whatever you're doing, go shake more hands. Go get out there. Get out of your office. Get out of your environment. Go meet new people. If you already know them, it doesn't count. Like, go meet new people. The more relationships you have, the more you have.
Right.
If right now I knew twice as many people, I'd have twice as much stuff. Because people are resources. You know what I mean?
I do. How do so?
See, some people would say, "Oh, so you're advocating using people?" Absolutely. You leverage relationships. You can call it because you have that pessimistic, negative mindset. You're trying to find problems in everything, but you leverage relationships. People leverage my relationship all the time.
Sure.
I'm not offended by it. My friends, I want them to call me. If you got good friends, they want you to call them.
That's right.
It's go knock on someone's door, see if you can stay there for a month. Tell them you got kicked out and see if they say, come on in. If they look around or they look nervous, it's not necessarily your friend. That's probably just an acquaintance.
Right.
A lot of people have acquaintances when they need to have friends.
Right.
But how do you make friends? Introduce yourself.
That's right.
So go out there and shake hands.
That's right.
You'll make more money, promise.
That's right. That's right. How valuable are the people that you hang with, man?
Well, I don't know. The people I hang with are extremely valuable. But if you hang with losers, well, you end up becoming one.
Mm-hmm.
So if what you're trying to get at is how important are the people you choose to hang around, how important is that decision? It's a massive decision.
Right.
The people you hang around, you do tend to become,
and
you listen to them. Even if you're not listening, you're listening. Your mind's listening at all times. And just like the ground, if you plant corn, corn comes up. You plant wheat, wheat comes up. You plant shit's coming up.
Yep.
That's for sure. So if you hang around a bunch of negative people talking shit, being negative, even if it's sometimes joking, I would just eliminate all negativity. You don't want anything around.
It was actually the episode with Andy Elliott. We were talking about something along these lines, and I had said, boy, a few people got pissed, which I know we're doing good when we got some hate coming in. I know we're getting to enough people. We need more of it, actually. But I had said that there's some people that I grew up with, lifelong friends that I love today, but I can't hang out with them very often because they're not going to the same place. They're not going in the same direction. Yeah. And the people got pissed over that.
Yeah.
But
same type of people probably. Yeah, because they have their beliefs. See, that's the thing people don't understand. Your beliefs is the culprit. That's the responsible party for everything. If you want to change what you're getting, you got to change what you're doing. Right? The way you change what you're doing is you have to change your beliefs. The only way to change your beliefs is to get new information. So people with those belief systems, like, dude, that's rude. You're not going to be someone's friend because they can't help you in life. Number one, that's not what you said, right? Number two, yes. Why? Well, because I can love you from a distance. I don't need you around me. I don't need you bringing me back down. Like, I don't want to hear my limitations, right? Don't tell me about my limitations. Don't tell me about your limitations. Like, I want to hear positive, abundant type energy. And if I had a buddy of mine that's been my buddy for years and he's just a negative, limited mindset individual, I wouldn't hang around with him very much. And if I hung around with him, it would only be if he was being positive. The second he became negative, man, I'd have to go. I'd do that to my mom. I don't really care. It's anybody and everybody. Because you know who's going to be here the whole time and only the whole time? Me.
Right.
There's no guarantee otherwise.
That's right.
You have best friends forever and they end up screwing you.
Right.
There's been a lot of cases of that.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is, be kind, be ethical, have integrity, and just let people know you're not looking for, negative energy.
It's so important for people to understand what they tolerate and what their standards are, and what their standards. Some people say they want certain things, but that's not actually how they go out and live their life at all.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of those people.
Yes. And I know I think that was that's the evolution of the founder or the entrepreneurs. They're always raising the standard, raising the bar. Tolerate, I guess from when I was a kid, that was always a word that meant like, I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. It was like a negative disciplinary word. But it's when you actually like look at what it means and how you can use those words, man, it changes things. I look at people like you and I see, people say, oh, he's accomplished this and that. I see your ability to think, and like just listening to you talk, you have a lot of framework that you've built in over the years. You did not finish school of any kind, really. Right, like of any kind.
Well, I mean, I dropped out in the 11th grade.
In the 11th grade, so you're close.
Although I was tested, and I'm doing college level work in the 11th grade.
Sure.
So just because you drop out doesn't make you stupid,
right? Well, that was my point. But like, over the time, because when did you really start making money? So like in your 20s, you made some.
Well, I mean, what's money? How much? Because I was making money from the get-go.
Well, but you came from not much, right?
Well, we blue collar, but I was making money.
How old were you when you made more than your folks?
Oh, probably 18.
18. So
started selling cars.
Okay.
Made way more than anyone in my family.
Okay. And that was through an outlet of sales.
Yeah, sales. It's always been sales.
Why is everybody scared of sales?
Well, again, because everyone's afraid of other people's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but to me, it's like, you work at a car lot. What do you think people are coming in there for? Bag of oranges? You got to convince them into a car? Like, they're coming to look for a car.
Right.
The owner of the dealership's giving you hundreds to call yours and show. And then you get paid good money when someone wants one. Well, be nice. Quit trying to be a salesperson. Start being a help person, and just meet people. But everyone thinks, of the negative stereotype. Salesmen are pushy. Salesmen are this. Salesmen are that. Maybe the ones you met, right? Doesn't mean you have to be that way.
That's right.
You're a salesperson anyway. Like, you've been a salesperson since day one.
Mm-hmm.
You come out the womb selling somebody on a tit.
Mm-hmm.
You're hungry. You want to eat. Guess what? You're selling somebody on that.
That's right. My kid sells us every day.
You sell your kid. Your kid sells you. Everybody's in sales, folks. You just got to, the difference between a good salesperson and a bad one is the good one knows they're doing it and the bad ones don't. But it's the same thing. You
have trained quite a few sales folks. You have, I actually was a student in your closer school. I don't know if you knew that.
Who was?
I was.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. The closer school VT is freaking incredible. One of the biggest things I got out of it was I'm training all these people, and I was like, well, there's the framework for a great training platform right there. There's all the steps laid out for you. The roadmap's right there to build something awesome.
Yeah, that's the masterclass you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the closer school, the system has a bunch of stuff that has never been dropped in. That's about to get dropped in. Prospecting, cold calling, rebuttals, objections, negotiations, all of that's about to get dropped in. So that's really what closer school was supposed to be. The masterclass is what's supposed to kick it off.
Gotcha.
So you went through the masterclass then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was It was really good. A couple of the other agents were doing it with me at the time. Some of the younger cats back in the day. It was fun, man. We had a good time with it.
I'm about to refilm it. It was kind of cheese ball. When I look at it, I'm like, ew, that's, plus I'm getting in shape now, so I have to go get rid of it.
You have to refilm everything, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't have to, but I think you should myself. I think you should put the best version of you out there.
Right.
And if there's a better version of you, in other words, like if I got fat, I'd probably leave the buff version.
Sure.
But it's the opposite.
That's right.
I was a little chunkier.
What made you decide to tighten up?
Dude, I'm just tired of, not living up to my potential.
Right.
A lot of people are listening to me. I get a lot of people saying I'm changing their life, and
Agreed.
I get a lot of followers, and like it's my responsibility to lead by example. It's and not only that, dude, I'm just tired of being soft and freaking casual.
How much better do you feel since you started?
I feel mentally 1,000 times better.
That's right.
And more importantly, this is what people don't get. In order to build your net worth, you have to build your self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as your self-worth goes up, your net worth goes up. So even though I was making, 8 figures, almost 9 figures, I'm doing fine. There's always more you can do. So I had to increase my self-worth. Well, I'm pretty good in most areas. So like, I just thought, man, I've never really hunkered down and did the work to get in shape, physically in shape. As you get more physically in shape, you're mentally in shape, more mentally in shape. So I just said, I'm going to do this for 12 weeks. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to do a frame up restoration, get down to like 8% body fat, and then just maintain around 10 or 12, because I can't come out on stages and have a platform telling people the right thing to do if I'm not doing it.
That's right.
Because I think that's hypocritical.
That's right. The for me, we get because fitness is important at my house as well, and but for me, I feel better when I get up mentally in the day. Like, it's amazing what you put in your body, how much of a direct impact that has on honestly, how productive and successful you could be.
Like, I was almost going to be late because I have to eat every 3 hours now. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
Doing cardio in the morning, cardio at night, that's a bitch.
Yeah.
But guess what? So is being fat and out of shape. That's a bitch.
I haven't seen you with a stogie hanging out of your mouth on the treadmill yet. Is that coming? Have we filmed that yet?
Well, I mean, you don't inhale cigars.
That's correct.
But no, I wouldn't smoke one on the treadmill.
It'd still be funny if you did, though.
Well, and maybe one day I will. but at the end of the day, I'm thinking of actually stopping cigars.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How come?
They just take a long time.
They do take a long time.
It's like an hour, and I try to smoke. People are like, how many you smoke a day? As many as I can.
Yeah.
Like, I'll smoke 7, 10 if I can.
Wow.
But you got stuff to do, and you can't always, be sitting there puffing on a stogie. So to me, it's like, you don't inhale it, but it makes you stink still. Yeah. And that's the reason I quit smoking a long time ago.
Right.
It wasn't the cancer or it was all, I stunk.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm thinking about it. I didn't say I'm gonna.
What are you gonna replace it with?
Nothing.
Because you used to, you before cigars, you did. I remember seeing you vape. Yeah.
Before vape, cigarettes.
Gotcha.
And the only reason I started smoking cigarettes is because I wanted to be cool. When someone said, "Hey, you got a cigarette?" I want to be able to say, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And then I started puffing on them just to blow smoke rings.
Gotcha.
And then I ended up smoking.
Right.
But fortunately, I don't have an addictive personality.
Okay.
Like, I can stop anything at any time.
Does the family like or not like the smell of the cigars?
Little ones don't.
They don't?
No. Mama doesn't.
Mama doesn't?
Well, who wants to stink?
Yeah. Well, some people like the smell.
Not. Well, I mean, the smell of a cigar maybe, but not the smell of someone that just smoked one.
Right. I get it.
Yeah, you got to stink, man. You got to. I've never really sat there and noticed somebody that smoked a cigar and that they stunk. I have cigarettes, though.
Absolutely.
Like, if someone comes in after smoking a cigarette, dude, they stink, period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. And I like the smell of cigarettes.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, that smells good.
Yeah.
But I don't like a smoker.
Gotcha.
But not only that, man, I just said, I want to lead by example. I don't think I'm going to promote, smoking.
For sure.
Just like drinking, I don't not drink, but I haven't drank in probably seems like a year.
And when we were in Vegas with you, you were telling us, we talked about that, and you were talking about the last time that you did, and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I guess you'd said some things that you had to apologize for later or something.
Yeah. That was the last time I drank.
That was the last time?
Yeah. No. I take that back. I had a few drinks, but I've never been drunk again.
That was the last time you got drunk.
Yeah, that's what I said I'm done with. I'm done being drunk. Like,
Right.
You won't see me shit-faced drunk anymore. And if you do, trust me, we're having a good time. Because that means I slid backwards. But no, I used to get drunk to get drunk.
Sure.
Like, there's the only reason I'm drinking is to get drunk.
Yeah.
I thought that's why you drink,
Right.
is to get drunk.
Right.
So we'd go get the job done. And I did it one time to a point where, I had to wake up the next day and apologize to a bunch of people. And I said, man, that's stupid. But, that's what maturity gets you. You get older, you get wiser,
Yeah.
you get smarter. I haven't drank anything at all for probably 6 months or a year. And I feel great every morning. No hangover.
Yeah.
Alcohol is technically poison to your body.
That's right.
But I don't want to say never because, I will have a drink one of these days,
Yeah.
to celebrate. But I won't be shit-faced drunk ever again.
That's right. That's right. Well, the closer school. So you were saying before you're about to relaunch that sucker, right?
Well, not relaunch, just add all the content that should have been in there from this whole time. And
Gotcha.
and anyone that already bought it, like if you guys already bought it, it's included. I'm not upselling anybody.
Right.
It should have been in there the whole time.
Right on.
But I'm busy running real companies.
That's right.
So I didn't have time to film a bunch of content, but I have over the past, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like way good.
When I first met you, you were thinking about getting into the insurance space.
Oh, I'm in it
That's right.
deep.
Well, tell the folks about it. What's going on?
Well, I just saw in the insurance space that most companies were paying all of the agents that were doing all the work the little bit, and the people up top were taking all the money. And people were like, what do you mean? Well, like all the companies' pay plans that I looked at, the agent that was doing the actual selling, which is the hard part, they were getting less than the people above them who brought them in, management. I call them gray hairs. So I thought to myself, well, that's not necessarily fair because I'm a fair guy. Whoever does the selling should get the most, right? They're doing the work. They're the ones not with their kids. They're the ones dealing with the brain damage. Mm-hmm. So I just found a couple of, almost billionaires looked at their pay plans. Same thing. Like, dude, they started people like at 25%. And I'm like, how much is there? And when you realize how much the carriers will actually pay you, why would you give someone the little piece and they're doing all the work? Well, that's just how the industry went.
Right.
So I said, I want to disrupt this industry and I want to flip it upside down.
Healthy disruption.
Yeah. So I said, I'm going to pay the agents the most. And, I'll let the people at the top just take a little bit.
Okay.
Well, as soon as I put the agents first, the agents started coming.
Right.
And in a big way. So very quickly, I put thousands of agents into the deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's people making 40, 50,000 a month where anywhere else they'd be making 12 to 15. Why? Because I'm paying them the big piece.
Yep.
And there's less of that MLM-y feel.
Yeah.
And it's growing rapidly because people are, getting their friends and family, and it's like, damn, dude, this is easy. It's not hard to get out of the rat race. You just need to know how.
Okay.
So I'm just showing people how.
Right on.
And then some people can't get licensed, so I started Real Solar because you don't need a license to sell solar, and it's big. You can make great money selling solar right now. I've got obviously the best sales training on earth, the best training technology, so I can deliver training to people. So really the only people that we can't help are the ones that don't want to work, and I can't help those people.
Right.
So I always just say, if you want me to save you from drowning, you got to swim towards me.
Sure.
And it's cool because I'm just building ladders up out of the rat race. And I'm showing people the ladder. Like insurance is a ladder out of the rat race.
That's right.
Do you want to climb? Because if you don't want to climb, move out of the way and let someone else climb. But there's the ladder. It goes up. All you have to do is climb. Now, some people might say, well, your ladder's rickety. It's missing rungs. It's dangerous. You could fall. Well, even if that were the case, it's still out of the rat race. And folks, you better get out of the rat race because it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Someone said the rich and the poor, the gap is widening. And they said, what do you suggest to the poor? I said, jump.
That's right.
Jump and swim that way very, very quickly. If you don't know how, get a hold of me.
The middle class is getting, I always thought the strength of the economy was based on the strength of the middle class. If the middle class was doing well, the economy was good. But our middle class is disappearing.
It sure is. You're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. Pick, because they're both a bitch. They're both hard. And if people are like, well, of course I would be rich if I could. Well, that's your limited mindset thinking that you can't, which is the problem. So I always tell people, look, there's 2 reasons you're not successful. 1, you don't know how, which I can help you. 2, you don't think you deserve it deep down, and I can help that too. So you have to have the confidence and the self-worth and the value to know that you're worth it. Because, dude, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that, they subconsciously don't think they're worth success. So whatever they do will continuously sabotage anything that they've got going that would lead to success, because deep down they don't think they deserve it. Then there's people that just don't know how. They're fine mentally and subconsciously they like themselves. The problem is they don't know how. Well, I can tell you right now how. Sell something.
That's right.
Figure out something to sell. You got to have a vehicle. Okay, I went and vetted multiple industries: solar, insurance, merchant services. Those are the 3 main ones. They all pay residual recurring revenue.
That's what you want, baby.
You can all sell the book of business when you're done with it for millions of dollars. You can make $300,000 to $500,000 a year minimum while doing it. It's like, no, I can't. That's a limited mindset. See, it's either your mindset,
that's right,
or it's your knowledge. So trust me, you can. I have people that are doing it. I got 20-year-old kids that dropped out of college, bragging about it on social media, blaming me. I got people saying, oh, real good influence you are, dropped out of college. Dude's making, $50,000 a month.
Well, that's why you go to college, right?
Exactly.
Is to get the career.
Hey, and I didn't tell him to drop out. I think if people are in college, they should finish. Why? Because I think you should finish what you start.
Sure.
You need to do the work. Doing the work builds the value. But long story short, I started those companies just to show people how to get out of the rat race, and they're blowing up. It's ridiculous.
Well, what makes them cool is, one, you're giving somebody a hand up, not a handout, right? But
I give them a handout too, because I pay for their license.
Right on.
Most people, have to pay a couple $100 to get that school and all that. I pay it for them.
Right on.
I didn't want any excuses.
There you go. So you eliminated it. But there's no one of the hardest things a business owner has to do is they have to come up with a product that they're going to launch their business around, and they don't have to do that working with you. It's the product's already done, and that's where the majority of the expenses are when you're developing it in the beginning and all that stuff, right? So that was for me when we got into insurance. We had been bar and nightclub owners before and had done well with it. But when I had started, we had lost shit. We had lost everything and had nothing. And I made 6 figures my first year in selling insurance. And it was a great product with a good, everything worked out. It was great. Changed my life. But I did not have to come up with the product. And that was why I was able to get going so fast. The product was already established and worked and was good.
And everybody needs it.
That's right.
And that's the thing. Like you say, well, this person doesn't. Everybody needs insurance.
Thank you. Somebody once told me too, your boss is never going to pay you enough to live next door. And
that's generally true. Again, I would, if you can bring me enough, I'll pay you to live next door.
That's right.
It's got to be.
But in the old world, the old W-2 world, you didn't do that.
I see what they're saying. And that's likely true. You're not going to get rich working for someone else.
That's right. So you got Real Financial Solar. Dude, how long have you been doing the podcast Dropping Bombs? How many years has it been going on now?
I don't know. I'm up to like 550 episodes. So
It's a lot.
2-3 years.
2 or 3 years. Is it usually one episode a week? Has that been 2 episodes a week? Gotcha.
Mondays and Thursdays I drop them.
Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in podcasts. I think everybody that wants to be some form of entrepreneur or business owner ought to have one. It's a great, if anything, it's probably the best networking tool. It's a great source for content. It knocks out a whole bunch of things in an hour. Mm-hmm. And it's usually high quality if you do it right. So I'm a big believer in that. And here right out of Nashville, we're producing some high quality podcasts for some folks. What made you get into the podcasting space?
I just had a lot of people coming in and out of my offices, and I thought, why not sit them down and pick their brain on a microphone? Mm-hmm. So I just grabbed a couple microphones, much like these here. Mm-hmm. And when people came in, I said, hey, sit down. Let's chat for a minute. Mm-hmm. And then we were just, shooting the shit, and we left, and someone said something about, man, you guys were in there dropping bombs. And I thought, that's a good podcast name. Went and looked it up, and it was available. Mm-hmm. So I just kept going with it.
That's it. Yeah. Droppingbombs.com. Bye.
Droppingbombs.com. That's right. That's I think the best name on earth. What's this one called?
The Hitstreak.
The Hitstreak.
So with the music and the baseball background, it's a play on both of those. So that's what you've been doing all day long, adding hits to the Hitstreak.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
I'm batting 1,000.
You are so far. So we need to challenge him a little bit more, don't we? Dude, it's when I was asking you about starting one, I said, how do I do that? And he was like, you just walk out there and you get somebody in the office and you set them down, and that's episode 1. And then you pick it apart and go from there. So the Super Male was my first guest, and then we rocked and roll. So I guess I got to give him some credit because you helped. I don't know if you know that you helped produce this sucker since we started it. We've had some awesome people on here, man.
Yeah. Well, I inspire people, and I think because the simplicity.
Yeah.
Like, see, everyone, how do I start a podcast? Dude, get a couple microphones, grab somebody and talk to them.
Yeah.
Then upload it.
That's right.
And I highly recommend video.
Video.
Yeah, you want them on YouTube as well.
So if you can't afford to do a well-produced one, you should do one. But I'm always telling folks the difference between, we were very fortunate. We got on Spotify. We were one of the first on Spotify for video, which was pretty cool. And that was just based on, production was a big part of that. So I think the difference between a podcast that monetizes quicker than others is the production value. And when I first got turned on to you, they would, first of all, like your name it can be deceiving, right? Because you look totally different. Most people's last name is Lee, look a little bit different. It's spelled Lee, but they look a little bit different. But that was what they said. They were like, yeah, have you ever heard of Brad? I was like, no, I haven't. And I looked them up. I was like, shit, the first thing I saw was your podcast. And I was like, this is the real deal. So
my name used to be Lee.
Really? Yep. Is that legally how it's spelled?
No, it used to be.
I gotcha.
Ages ago.
Okay.
When it was Robert E. Lee, I'm sure you've heard of.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, Robert E. Lee was a Confederate general. Mm-hmm. Well, he was from the North, fought for the South. Mm-hmm. So the people in the North decided that he's not there. They don't want to be related to him. So they literally changed the E to an A. So there was a different spelling.
Okay. So
people could say, oh, no, we're not the same. Did you know that?
I did not.
Now you do.
That's right. I'm still betting 1,000.
Yeah. And if there's historians out there that says, hey, wait a minute, he didn't fight for the Confederate Army. Whatever. Like, he was the opposite. He was a traitor basically to his family because he fought for the opposite side. I'm pretty sure he was from the North, fought for the South. And his family's like, dude, we don't want to be related to this guy. So they changed their spelling to Lea, and that's how the Lea came around.
Gotcha. Well, that was the first. It was deceiving 2 ways. They were like Bradley, and I'm like, what's his last name?
You thought I was Chinese.
I did. I was like, well, damn, he don't look anything like I thought. I bet you've gotten that. Well, in the old days, you probably got that a lot.
No, most of it I get, is that Leah? And I say, I don't know. Do you drink Tia?
Yeah. I get Hitter. I get Hitler.
How do you get Hitter? It's Hiter. That's Hyder.
That's exactly right. We get Hitter all the time. Most people say Hyder, Hyder, is what they would think it would be. And then the people that have put the L in there, it's, hey man, it's called reading. left to right, top to bottom, group words together.
If you guys are just shooting the shit on this podcast, you could call it the bullshiter.
The bullshiter. Well, you came up with the tighter with Hider. That was when we were on your episode. And that was the episode when Ree came in and was talking about some stuff. That was the name of that episode.
Dude, you got to tighten up your game, man. Get tighter with Hider.
That's right. Should that be the name of our LightSpeed system?
No. The LightSpeed system should have some sort of institutional sounding thing, like the Hider Academy.
Okay.
Or the Hider Institute of Higher Learning.
Grant has Cardone University, right? Well, didn't Trump get roasted for that, for Trump University back when that was a big deal when he was trying to run and all that kind of stuff, and they were like,
yes,
they made that a big ass deal. So, but it does matter to have it accredited and stuff. So you got Closer School. Nobody's came at you for anything.
Let them.
Come on.
What's the worst case? I change the name.
That's right. Well, that means you're getting the attention.
Yeah, big deal, dude. At the end of the day, man, if you want to learn how to sell, close, persuade, and influence, Closer School is where you would go for that. Mm-hmm. It is a school.
Yep.
And I am a teacher.
When you have the networking tool, it's a great networking tool too. I mean, there's thousands of people in that sucker, and
yes,
if not more. And on any call that you do live calls with them
every Tuesday,
and that's some entertaining stuff.
I'm starting to do one. I have a new Discord channel out. If you heard of Discord? Mm-mm. Discord's where all the youngsters are on.
Okay.
How old are you? Yeah, so you know what Discord is. You don't. I just learned, and it's like it's all the kids, man. The college kids, and there's people a little bit older on there, but like just savvy ones. But if I were you, I'd go get your own Discord channel.
Okay. What happened to Clubhouse?
Mine's called the Crash House, by the way.
The Crash House. Okay.
Clubhouse. What do you mean? What happened? It's still going.
Still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I never really got into Clubhouse. When it was all invite only, I got in there, so I popped in there to see what was up, and it was kind of cool. There's a new one out called Breakout Audio that a lot of people are migrating over to.
Okay.
But Clubhouse is still cranking.
Awesome. Well, dude, it's you do help a lot of people. A lot of people pay attention to you. A lot of folks. Brad, when we've probably shown 500 of your clips or videos as sales training tools, as lessons and validation when we're doing those things.
No lawsuits?
Nope.
Dang.
Nope. Well, we've built everything. We don't have an HR department here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, everybody's a business owner, 1099 or whatever, right?
That's
so,
right.
Absolutely. So yeah, no lawsuits and stuff. And from time to time, I've said, "Hey guys, apologies for the F-bomb in there or whatever." But I mean, that's like you said, it's authentic, right?
Well, I'm toning them down.
You're toning them down?
Yeah, I think I'm coming up with better words.
Better words. So what's a better word than that?
Well, again, down in the Bible Belt. Mm-hmm. Flipping,
freaking's the one. That's the one everybody uses.
Yeah, but see, to me, if I say, "Oh, shut your freaking mouth," what's the difference?
Right.
You meant the same thing.
That's right.
So, ultimately, I think it's just to try not to offend other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I get older, I'm me, but I don't have to. Like when I talk to little kids, I'm not F-bombing left and right.
Sure.
But I always think like full-grown adults, dude, like folks, it's just a word, first of all.
Right.
You know what it means, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Fornication under consent of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't know that, but that's what that came from.
Okay.
But anyway, I always tell people, sorry. I was raised poorly.
Well, what's some of the stuff that's coming next down the line, man? You're booked out with keynotes. It seems like nonstop right now.
Yeah, it's crazy too because like I kept raising my fee, so like they'd slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up to like 50,000, and they just keep booking me, and I'm like, shit. And then maybe I need to go to 100.
That's right.
But I'll do that anytime. Like 50 grand, 100 grand, I'll come speak like that. For me, like that's like, damn, no way. But I'll go out there and talk for an hour for that.
Is that your favorite thing you're doing right now?
No, No, because again, sometimes I get off stage and I'm like, I don't even know if I necessarily said anything,
Right.
but people seem to like it. I just want to show people how to get out of the rat race. I want to build Real Financial up like massive and sell it for $1 billion. I want to build ladders out of the rat race so we can live in a world where success is more normal.
Right.
Everybody should have money.
Sure.
Everybody should have a level of success. And I'm not talking about struggling. I'm talking about enjoying life. Everybody should have a side hustle. Everybody needs a side hustle. In
this town, $250,000 a year is when you can make decisions where you're not like, I always hated having to pick where we went to eat or what school the kids went to over money. I wanted to send them to the school that was best for them and just remove money out of the equation.
That's right.
When thinking about it,
you need a side hustle then.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, those side hustles turn into main hustles.
That's right. And for us here in Nashville, 250,000. At least it was not long ago before gas quadrupled and everything else. But 250,000 gets it done. You can pretty much live, maybe not in the house you live in, but you live in the right county for the right school system, have the right vehicles.
250 will put you in the house I'm in. You won't have any power, but or food.
That's right.
But you'll have the house.
You'll have the house, and you'll be able to go jump in your pool without the water in it.
That's right. 240 to be exact.
240?
Yep. You'll have 10 grand left over.
There you
assuming
go.
You don't pay taxes.
That's right. We got to do that.
Because if you're making 240, you're actually only taking home what? 160?
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Yes.
Anyway, I get what you're saying. Yeah. 250 is what I say people need to get out of the rat race. You need to be able to make $200,000-300,000 a year to start.
That's right.
And then obviously don't live that way because you need that chunk of money to start investing and getting out. So I always show people, and a lot of people think, well, Brad, you're teaching people how to do insurance. No, that's just a vehicle.
Right. I'm
teaching people how to get out of the rat race, financial freedom, personal confidence, happier lives and family.
Yeah.
It's how to become a better human.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, nobody, we could go to every career day at every elementary school in America, and not one kid is going to stand up and be like, when I grow up, I'm going to be in insurance. They're going to say everything else, but and I didn't say it either. And man, dude, when I first started my insurance agency, I went from professional baseball player to nightclub and bar owner to all of a sudden it was insurance agent, and I was almost ashamed of it in the beginning.
Why?
And personal problems, dude, for no reason.
You were worried about what everyone else thought.
That's right. That's right. And
most people's problem right there, by the way.
It was totally mine. And as a matter of fact, it was the you talk about racking up the wins all the time. There was a book called The Strangest Secret that I had. You can't read it; you have to listen to it because it's like a 40-minute audio book. But he does the end. We call it our $1 Million Month here. All of our new businesses have to do it. But it's right 10 things, the easiest things you can do every day, 30 days in a row on a card. And if you mess it up, you got to rip it up and start over. I think it was like my 16th card that I realized I was the problem. And from that, we've made money from that moment on. And insurance was insurance changed my life 100%. There you go, baby. Insurance changed my life. And the even coolest part is we're still getting stuff. We're getting paid on stuff we did in 2013.
That's the best.
That's the best.
When people see the RR on the seat, on the headrest, they assume that means Rolls Royce.
Okay.
It means recurring revenue.
Recurring revenue. That's going to be a good one. The all right. Coming back full circle, financial literacy. There was one of my favorite books is the old classic by Mr. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Love that book. Love that book. I'm sure you've probably read that one before as well. When did you so you weren't taught financial literacy how did you learn? You learned it in business experience, like
the hard way.
That's right. The hard way.
I learned it by losing.
Mm-hmm. Which that's a way you learn. Most people learn lessons anyways, is that way, right? They learn them.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Some don't.
That's right.
But yeah. No one, unfortunately, nobody sat me down and taught me the ways of money.
Nobody sat you down and taught you about the ways of social media.
No. But fortunately, I've learned, and it's real easy if somebody's interested in how money works. It's like if you just look at money as the tool.
Yeah.
Like when you get the money and it's a tool, you just need to buy assets with that, and then let the assets create you passive income.
Yep.
You can blow passive income. You can't blow earned income.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go out and you have a job right now, you're making $100,000 a year. That $100,000 a year ideally should be only to invest. And you're like, well, how do I live? That's the thing. If you're smart, figure it out some other way.
Oh yeah.
Not from your earned income. But most people are blowing their earned income on liabilities.
Yep.
And so they don't have anything left to invest. And so they go through their whole life and stay broke. Or if someone could just literally invest everything they earned, intelligently to create cash flow, it would only be a matter of 10 years before they could
That's right.
do anything they want.
Well, and I was always taught debt was bad.
The trick is to look at earned income and passive income.
There you go.
Two different ways. I used to take my earned income, even though it was a lot of it, and I'd buy nice things because I thought that's what being rich was. Like, I make a lot of money, I should be able to buy these things. Mm-hmm. How are all these rich people living in all these houses if they're not using the money they're earning?
Mm-hmm.
Their businesses earn money or something.
Sure.
But in reality, that's not the best way to do it.
When it wasn't, Rhea and I learned, we have most of what we have today. We're both 41 years old, and since we've accumulated it since we were 35. Like, a very short part of our life is who we has turned us. Well, not who's turned us who we are and who we are today, but what we have today is a result of those. But boy, the first 35 years were a lot of really valuable lessons.
Mm-hmm. That's how I learned.
That's right, and thank goodness we learned a lot of those early, rather than it would be a lot harder to overcome them now, especially with the responsibility of the family and everything else, than it was to learn those in our 20s and early 30s.
Well, here's the good news. Are you smarter now than you were 10 years ago?
I've definitely retained more knowledge, and I know how to use it. I was probably just as smart back then if you tested me, technically.
Well, you know more today than you did 10 years ago?
Absolutely.
Do you think you'll know more in 10 years?
Dude, 10 years from now, watch out.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So 10 years from now, dude, you'll know even more, and you'll be like, man, I wish I'd have known that at 41.
Yes.
You never stop doing that.
That's right. And like even when we started this podcast, people ask what I'm going to do with it. I'm like, it's top 10. That's why we're doing it, is because that's the direction that we want it to go. If everything that we do, it's got to be the best, or you shouldn't want to do it.
Well, good. I'm gonna help you get your rankings up by sharing it.
Let's rock and roll. Well, dude, the importance of money, understanding the language, studying it. The word cash flow, the moment that I learned what that word meant, was extremely valuable. And you could ask 10 people outside right now, not in the office, but outside, and they probably wouldn't know what cash flow actually means.
What's your definition?
Cash flow is what's cash. It's got to be cash flow positive. So 3 words. So for us, we look at our debt and our assets, and they can both cash flow. And if they're cash flowing positive, then we're in a real good spot. So especially if the positive growth of it, we're especially in this market, we're gaining appreciation and stuff like that. And if it's cash flow positive as well, it's growing quick. So I like to keep it simple, just like that. What about you?
To me, it's just passive. You take the earned income to create passive income, and passive income is your cash flow.
That's right.
There's again, I didn't go to financial college. Is there a financial college?
Grant may have one by now. I don't know.
But I can tell you that it's pretty simple once you realize, money's just a tool to make more money.
That's right.
So if you get money and you buy food and you buy a hotel room and you do things, it disappears. You get something in return for your money, like food and rent and stuff like that. But if you look at that money as a tool to make more money, you don't get the house, you don't get the car, you don't get the fancy shit.
Yeah.
But take that money and invest it wisely.
That's right.
And pretty soon the passive income will pay for all of the fancy stuff, and it'll never go away because your money's what's making money. Right now, people make money. You want money to make money.
That's right.
And I'm just getting into that. So again, I'm like you, dude. I blew a lot of money for a lot of years not realizing it, but I realize it now, and I'm playing catch up. But guess what? I have a large, opportunity because I can make a lot. So if you can make a lot, you're not behind. You just need to hurry up, get started.
That's right. The same people that would tell you, like, hey man, don't smother a candle that burns so hot only burns so long, and in relationships, if you got to let the bird fly, and if it comes back, it's yours. Why don't they talk about money that way? Because they don't. Those are the ones that say you have to hold on to your money.
But who's they? Because again, normally I'll see who they are before I listen to them. Mm-hmm. And if they're not doing it, I'm not going to take much advice. Like Dave Ramsey, he's one of the exceptions.
Right.
He's got money, but I'll bet you anything he doesn't do what he's preaching.
You think?
He can't. You don't get rich by saving, dude.
I agree with that.
You gotta leverage debt.
Well, you can't.
He's talking about the average Joe.
Absolutely. And if you're, W-2 20, 30 years in, that might be something good for you. If the side hustle's not for you, or
well, he wants you to pay off your house, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so my question is, if I have a house, let's say it's worth $1 million, and I can get a loan on that house.
That's right.
At 2%.
And you don't pay taxes on that.
But let's say you don't pay taxes on loans, but I can get a loan for that house at 2%, right? So now I take that $1 million, which I'd only get 80% of it. I understand, but let's just play equal numbers. And I take that $1 million and I go get 10%. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm netting 8% positive on the transaction. So so why would I want my money in the house?
That's right.
I want to use the money because the money in the house is no good.
That's right.
Now, Dave will say, well, what if something happens? See, there you are with your negative bullshit. Nothing's going to happen.
That's right.
People are going to be like, Brad, you're going to get caught one day with your pants down. Hey, if my pants are down, dude, that's usually a good thing.
Well, you can't, like, life is an offensive sport, not a defensive sport.
And not only that, dude, I'm intelligent. I can react. I'll figure it out. I'll be all right.
Well, you're a good thinker. We tell the young kids, the young athletes all the time. I'll say one word, they say the next, and it's winners, and they'll say anticipate, and I'll say losers, and they'll say react. Right. So there is a certain level of reaction that shit changes, and you're going along with the flow and making your adjustments, pivoting, all those things. But at the same time, you're anticipating those things coming before they get to you. Right.
Is that a saying? Or is that your saying?
I just made it. I just said it.
Saying that. That's not. That doesn't even work.
You don't like it?
Losers react.
Losers react.
You react. You just reacted to what I just said.
Well, yes.
Loser.
The reason we said it is because the kids will be out there like looking in the wrong direction. Then the ball's hit to them, and they don't know what to do with it. They didn't think about when the baseball's hit to me. What do I do with it? Where's my next play? Thinking about where the next play is, just like you anticipate what you're going to do next in business or whatever else. So that's where that's.
I understand. Anticipate. That's a good thing.
Yes.
But react. That's a good thing too.
Sure.
Like I teach people to react.
Sure.
Like, your reaction is everything.
Absolutely.
That's why I always tell people, you control everything. They're like, what do you mean? I can't control somebody else coming up and hit me in the face. No, but you can control your reaction to it.
Sure. Well, you can control your attitude and your effort.
Yeah. Well, that's, to me, important. So if people realize, how you react is everything.
Sure. I
wouldn't attach the word react to loser, but that's just me. You do,
well, what word?
You do whatever you.
No, we're gonna fix it right now, Brad. What do we got? So what would another word be? What could I say? I'm gonna change it to a bunch of 12-year-olds this weekend.
Well, I mean, if you're saying winners anticipate, I like that. Losers don't.
Losers don't. Okay.
Yeah, that would work because losers don't.
I got it.
Winners anticipate. Losers don't.
Right.
Because that's the truth. Losers don't anticipate.
Yep.
Sometimes they don't react either.
Sure.
That's right. They fail to react. They fail to anticipate.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me think. I got to think of one.
All right.
I'll come up with a good one.
All right. All right.
I'll text you later.
Last one. This is one of my favorites is life is fair. Everybody's price is just different.
Is that yours?
No, actually, I heard that from the super sports agent, Hunter Bledsoe.
Life is fair. Everybody's price is just different. I wouldn't argue with that.
It's a good one.
I do believe life is fair. Like when people say life ain't fair, life is hard. Life is not hard. Life is fair. Life is good. Folks, if you think life is hard, it's because you're making it that way.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's your thinking that does it.
Sure.
I always tell people, your mind is so powerful. It's so powerful that if you think it doesn't work, it doesn't. That's the craziest part.
That's deep. Well,
there's people that can take their mind and slow their blood flow down.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that can heal with their minds. Mm-hmm. There's been facts and evidence of like, dude, your mind is very powerful. And that's what's stopping a lot of people. I would say, instead of trying to figure out externally what to change to grow and develop, figure out internally what to change. It's inside.
That's right.
Like if I always tell people, you want me to introduce you to someone that'll make you a millionaire? They're like, yeah. Like go into the bathroom, make sure it's empty, shut the door, look around. And you'll see that individual more than likely. And when you see him or her, be nice. That's the son of a bitch right there that can change everything for you.
That's right.
And that's the only one.
That's right. And you're big on gratitude.
Gratitude's big. Yeah. Every day I wake up, dude, I'm happy I got another day. Mm-hmm. And it shifts my perspective to one of optimism.
Right.
So instead of getting up dreading things, I get up and look forward to them, even if they're bad.
Right.
Like you get to pay the rent. You don't have to pay the rent.
Right.
If you're getting kicked out today, you wake up, as soon as your eyes open, dude, you get a chance to figure out rent again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's exciting. Because what if it wasn't? Would you rather die? No. Well, then, dude, be excited. You don't need unicorns every day for it to be a good day.
That's right.
It's a good day. The question is how good will it get?
That's right.
So gratitude's key. I think that's another advantage I have. I'm naturally happy.
What do you think is the credit for that?
Gratitude.
Well, just be, every gratitude is accessible to everyone.
That's right. It's a choice.
That's right. So how is that choice so easy for you to make?
Well, I just, again, when God was passing out common sense, he, spilt the bucket on me.
Gotcha.
Like I've got common sense coming out my yin yang.
Well, for those that don't have it, it's got to be effort, right? It's got to be on purpose.
No, they do have it. They're just not using it. Common sense will tell you things, if you listen. Your intuition will tell you things if you just listen. Most people don't listen to their intuition. Why? They don't trust themselves. Why? Because they don't like themselves. Deep down, they don't like themselves. Why? Well, you wouldn't like someone if they lied to you and harmed you every time you were around. But most people don't realize we do that to ourselves.
That's right.
Just use like exercise as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think exercise is a punishment.
Mm.
Exercise would be a reward. Go talk to someone in a wheelchair.
That's right.
And see if they wouldn't love to go walk on a treadmill.
Yeah.
But yet we don't want to walk on a treadmill. Oh, it's bullshit. I need a big old cheeseburger. And trust me, dude, I'm the biggest. By the way, there's a restaurant around here called J. Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
They got the best carrot cake ever.
So there's another spot right around the corner you got to check out for their carrot cake as well. It's called Sperry's. Like they're both. My wife will tell you. She's like, it's just they're both the best. It's just they're different.
All right. Well, I want to try it because I love carrot cake.
There you go.
And when you eat perfectly for 6 days straight, you get a cheat day.
Mm-hmm.
I cheat hard.
You go all in.
Well, why not?
That's right.
That's why you call it a cheat day.
That's right.
You don't cheat on freaking lean turkey.
That's right. That's right. Well, dude, is there? With everything you got going on, obviously the Dropping Bombs, the podcast is, it's one of the best ones out there. It's fantastic. The book's great. Everybody in business needs a LightSpeed system.
That's a fact.
Everybody needs a LightSpeed system. If they're looking for an outlet, if they just want to hang and work with you, they can do it now through Real Financial, Real Solar.
Or any other avenue I have available.
That's right. Because people can...
It's going to be selling something, though. I promise you that, folks.
That's right. Well, the highest paid people are the ones that bring money.
Well, Brad Lea, LEA.com, you will always be able to see what I'm up to because I'll just keep adding to that.
That's right. And you're on your 17th TikTok account now, I think. It seems like it's been a lot.
Well, they keep canceling it.
Yeah.
I get up to 500,000, they'd cancel. I get up to another 500,000, they cancel.
You're about to crack 1 million right now.
Yeah. But,
cumulative, you're probably at 5 million by now.
Or somewhere. But, I don't know what their deal is because I'm not saying anything bad.
That's right. I don't know. I got kicked off there one time for leaving a phone number, and it was an old video that had a phone where I said, call me at this number. And
you're not allowed to do that?
No.
Huh.
Don't know why. Don't know why.
It's a weird one, but it's the most viral, man.
Yes.
You get followers fast.
Yes, that's right. And people are very active and they engage a lot on it.
One time I was talking about Real Financial's Facebook group, and the Facebook group got 6,000 people overnight. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we had an outlet like that. I went on this podcast, Dropping Bombs, and the moment it aired, we had all these Instagram followers overnight.
That's right.
A bunch of them.
Well, I have listeners that are, loyal. They listen. And they're all entrepreneur based because that's what the podcast is mostly about.
Well, this one has been, we just, honestly, man, the growth at first was nuts. And for a minute, we didn't really understand why. We were very grateful and kept doing what we were doing and studying it. But seriously, the reach on yours is huge. It's absolutely massive. One last question for you. You've had a lot of amazing people on there. Who's somebody, you can't have a favorite. I guess you probably would. I wouldn't do that to everybody. But who's somebody that really besides Nick and Ree that were on your show, who's somebody else that really, really that stood out that years down the road when you think back about it, you'll be like, that was a great episode. I really enjoyed that episode.
Well, my favorite one is number 72.
Okay.
You got to go listen to it.
Number 72. And
number 72, his name's Johnny Cardone.
Johnny Cardone?
Yeah, he's my handyman.
Okay.
If you want to laugh, you got to know John. You don't have to know Johnny to laugh.
Okay.
But if you know Johnny, you will laugh.
Okay.
If you don't know Johnny, you'll still laugh, but you won't laugh as hard because you'll learn. In other words, he's the opposite of successful.
Okay.
He is a self-saboteur. And I broke down how he thinks.
Okay.
So you can fix your self-sabotaging ways. Because there's a lot of people out there that are self-saboteurs.
Absolutely.
And that was my favorite, only because dude, it broke down self-sabotaging.
Episode 72.
And people need to stop doing that.
You had one that the one that caught my attention the first time was the one where the guy came on that had gone nuts about all the child trafficking stuff, and that you had one episode that just went absolutely bonkers.
David Nino Rodriguez, I believe.
Mm-hmm. You've had anybody and everybody on it.
Yeah,
it's been fantastic. 500 episodes, you said.
500 and some, yeah.
Damn, that's a commitment, man. That's a lot of time.
Not really.
That's a lot of time.
It's consistent.
That's right. That's right. Consistent.
Well, I get a lot of people in and out of my office, so why not?
That's right.
Throw a microphone in their face.
That's right. And the offices in the studio are absolutely first class, man. It's awesome.
Now I'm setting some up here.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to do Hit Lab.
Let's go.
East.
I'm in.
Where's Brentwood?
West. I'm in. Brentwood's its own. You just say Brentwood.
I'm going to be Hit Lab Brentwood.
There you go. They just know.
The Hit Lab. I like that.
Well, folks, you already follow him, but if you don't, you should be. All of his social is The Real Brad Lea.
That's right.
And like we were just commenting before, because dude, you can tell you've been busting it. We're gonna call you the Fit Brad Lea now.
Sure.
So you can keep the real, but we're gonna go with the Fit Brad Lea.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
That's right. That's right. And it's very important to me too that people understand, because you are a big you are a big influence on a lot of folks and all that stuff. And I'm gonna tell a quick story from when we were in Vegas with you. You don't have to do this for anybody, but like you literally drove us back and forth in your car from your office. And dude, I just hope you understand how much that meant to us. The way you treated us when we got there, you didn't have to. You did great with it. Your staff was great. Everybody rolled out the red carpet, names on the screens. I mean, it was a first class experience coming out there. And then we literally hung out with you for like an entire day, drove us to our hotel like at midnight. It was, dude, you're a freaking awesome human being, and really appreciate it.
Well, I thank you very much. I think it's just called courtesy.
Absolutely. But that's courtesy is, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's why it's courteous.
That's right.
Because you don't have to do it.
Oh my God.
I could have stuck your asses in a cab, but guess what? Like, dude, like I was raised to a point where it's like, drive them where they're going real quick. Now, again, keep in mind,
you got family though, dude. You had to get back to, and
I know, but again, that to me, that's why I say real a lot, because dude, a real person will just throw you in their car and drive you. Now, if I had to go somewhere, I would have, had someone take you, because I have to go somewhere.
That's right.
I had nowhere to go. People always call me and say, "Oh, you must be busy." I'm not really that busy. Like I design businesses so I'm not that busy.
That's right.
I like to have free time.
Yeah.
I like to smoke cigars and chit chat and think and plan and delegate.
Yep.
And that's not really busy. So trust me. I appreciate the compliment, but if I had to be, somewhere else,
yeah,
I probably would have just called you an Uber. But
absolutely,
fortunately, I had some time, and you were in my hometown, and plus, you guys are cool. So,
well, it was again, it was a first class experience, dude, and a lot of folks that don't get to know you, you're the real deal, man, and for a big ass heart. Your heart's as big as your brain, for sure.
Thank you,
for sure. Well, if you, again, all the socials at the Real Brad Lea, bradley.com is the website. Phenomenal website as well. We actually use it as inspiration on the rebuild we're building on mine right now. You're doing a lot for a lot of people, and the world's a better place because of you.
Thank you.
Because you're here. Absolutely. Anything else you want to leave with before we bring it home here?
Just best $5 investment.
That's right.
Ever.
That's right.
Salespeople.
I got some, and I like. Where is it?
Don't go anywhere without one of these. I can't tell you how many people want to talk to me about something.
Oh yeah.
And I can't stand their breath, and I'm not even listening.
That's correct.
And their opportunity just walked by. When in reality, keep that breath fresh, folks.
Wallet, keys, phone, breath.
Keep that breath fresh, folks.
In the pockets.
See what I mean? It ain't rocket science.
No, I like these. These are my favorites. These are not the knockoff ones. I don't like the real ones. I like the knockoff.
Wintergreen.
Yep.
They're tasty.
I love them. But I have the little Listerine sprays as well.
Well,
I can smell it all the way over here.
Dude, fresh breath goes a long way.
I think it alerts you too. It alerts your senses and everything. I do.
Refreshes you.
That's right. Well, dude, first of all, welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
My home is your home, and but dude, this is fantastic having you on today.
Thanks for having me.
And I really, really appreciate it. Great to have you, brother. Dropping all the bombs as always. He's batting 1,000, folks. He's batting 1,000, and we're gonna get you back in here. We're gonna get you back in here before long. So, all the social at the Real Brad Lea URL. Bradley.com, YouTube's Bradley.tv. Changing the game, baby. Changing the game. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Hit Streak. Once again, I'm your man, Nick Hyder. God bless.